It's the day, Science 7. You're going to test both of your bird beaks in Lesson 18 to figure out which variety is best adapted to an environment that you're going to set up. Today, you're going to need a pencil, the journal slip bird beak testing, your science journal, and materials that you can use to simulate different bird foods. So let's get right to that. You're going to need to collect 5 different types of materials to represent 5 different types of food that birds might eat. First, you must decide on what you will use to represent seeds. I would think of items that are small, hard, and round. I have some suggestions here on the screen. You can use seeds that you might have to plant flowers, tiny uncooked pasta like the little pastina pieces, uncooked rice, sprinkles or nonpareils for baking, even unpopped popcorn kernels. If you have something else that's similar to these ideas, you can use it. Next, you need to find an item that can represent some nuts. Nuts are bigger than a seed, but still hard and round. Consider using small hard candies like M&Ms, hard beads, actual nuts if you're not allergic, even dried hard beans. For insects, I would choose something that's crunchy on the outside but softer than a seed or a nut. I might suggest using boxed cereal like Cheerios. You can cut up a styrofoam cup and have styrofoam pieces. Small goldfish crackers, you get the gist. For fruit, choose something soft like soft marshmallows or soft fruit snacks, even raisins. And for worms, go for something long, thin, and flexible. You can cut up some rubber bands or some ribbon or string, even old shoelaces if you have them lying around. Cooked spaghetti would also be okay. Take some time to look through the suggestions, scour your house, and choose one item for each food category. Write what you will use directly in the data table appearing on today's journal slip. Now that you've made your bird food choices, let's get ready to test. I need you to go grab 5 flat plates and lay them out on a kitchen island, on a counter, somewhere where you can easily clean up afterwards. On plate 1, I want you to spread out the material you're using for seeds. On plate 2, spread out the material you're using to represent nuts. On plate 3, spread out your insects. On plate 4, spread out your fruit. And on plate 5, spread out your worms. You're going to start by testing bird beak variety number 1. To do this, stand by plate number 1 and then set a timer for 15 seconds. Collect as many seeds as you can in this time frame. When the timer goes off, you need to stop and count the number of seeds you collected and write this in your data table. After you're done with plate 1, you can continue the same process for each of the other 4 food sources, making sure to write your data in your data table. When you're done testing beak number 1, move on to test beak number 2. Remember to lay out the same amounts of food in each plate that you did when testing bird beak number 1. We want it to be a fair test. I want you to have fun testing, or should I say eating. Go ahead and do that. Now, are you full after all that testing? You can see in your data table that a bird needs to eat 20 seeds in order to make at least 1 offspring. I need you to calculate how many offspring your bird can produce based on how many seeds you collected. If you collected less than 20 seeds, no offspring. The number that goes right here is 0. Even 19 seeds is 0 offspring. You need to have collected at least 20 seeds to make 1 offspring. And then even 39 seeds, you're still at just 1 offspring. If you collected 40 seeds, then you can make 2 offspring. Look at your data table and make this calculation and write it right here in the box. Now do this same process to figure out how many offspring are created based on how many food pieces you collected. for each food type and for each kind of beak. Okay, we're finally ready to see which of your bird beaks was better adapted. First, I need you to calculate the total number of offspring each bird can make. That means add up all of the offspring for beak number 1 and write that total on your journal slip. Then do the same thing for beak number 2. Add up all of the offspring that bird variety made and write that total on your journal slip. Based on these data, which beak is better adapted? Remember, birds that eat more survive more, and hence they reproduce more. If a certain bird variety is reproducing more, then that bird has greater fitness. Take time to answer question number 2 on your journal slip. For today, you also need to submit 2 items. You need to submit today's journal slip, bird beak testing, but you also need to submit a digital photo showing the setup of all 5 plates of food. If you have this photo inserted into your digital journal slip, that's fine. But if you wrote out your responses to your journal slip, you'll need to upload a photo of these written responses and then upload a photo showing the setup of how you were testing with all of the foods shown so that we can see. Until tomorrow, keep thinking, keep learning, and we'll bring closure to this activity tomorrow along with a check for understanding.